Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 69 of the Sim Racing Show. So leave your likes in the comments already. This week, the big question is a simple one. Is Gran Turismo 7 still bulletproof? Because Assetto Corsa Evo just dropped its 0.3 update in beta, and it does feel like Polyphony might finally be feeling the heat. There are 9 new cars, 2 laser scan circuits, multiplayer, physics overhauls. Evo is building momentum fast on real racing content, while Polyphony gives us more silhouettes and Vision GT cars in the August update. It feels like Kunos is saying, yeah, Kaz, we can do daily races too, but also with Spa and with better physics, while Kaz is just giving us the fillers instead of what the community actually wants. So is Polyphony safe, or are Kunos quietly laying the foundations to take the throne? It's been very controversial, so we'll speak about it in just a few seconds. This week's also kicks off with some drama around Project Motor Racing, because Straight4 promised VR when they ditched Unreal for the farming sim engine. But now, well, I'm going to be the YouTuber that actually holds them to account, because it might not actually make it for launch. And as a huge VR sim racer, this is a big stumble for what was supposed to be the next big immersive sim. Is it just a temporary delay before the big push in November, or is this classic Ian Bell over-promising to take your money and then not delivering? We all remember Project Cars 3. We've also had our first proper look at iRacing Season 4 build, which I'm going to let you know about, Mexico City joining the track roster, and Rennsport revealing a new, interesting, confusing pricing model. So let's get into it. Evo just dropped its 0.3 update, and let's be honest, this feels like, to me, a direct jab at Gran Turismo 7, because while Kaz is busy teasing shadows of fancy cars that nobody asked for, Kunos just delivered all of the content I let you know about, including online multiplayer. I have tested this build, and I have to say, I'm impressed with the graphics, I'm impressed with the sound. Personally, I like the handling, but it's going to be very controversial. So Spa and the Red Bull Ring are in. The Ferrari F2004 that we let you know about in the Sim Racing Show previously is in. Caterham Academy car is in. Porsche GT4 Club Sport, BMW M3 Evo, all in. These are actual race cars you can race, and not concept VGT things with imaginary horsepower. So Evo has its roots in kind of the real foundations of a racing sim. It's not trying to do some high art or just impress all these big sponsors. Multiplayer is here also, so it's capped at 16 drivers. That's the disappointingly same low number as Gran Turismo 7. And essentially, there's a lot of renting of servers through Kunos. That is very controversial, very divisive. I think if there's enough backlash, Kunos will actually backtrack on that, and I think they will make it more economical, make some free servers available. So let me know in the comments if that's something you're particularly caring about. They've also promised structured daily races in the next update, which is the GT bread and butter since GT Sport. And it's like Evo saying, you know, yeah, we look at that, we see what Gran Turismo 7 can be. GT7 is not going to do it themselves, so we'll do it. The physics, there is different FFB, different sort of tyre heating as I understand it. So they're making tweaks to the tyre model, which Gran Turismo hasn't done for a long time. Last time Gran Turismo made tweaks to the tyre model, they didn't explain it to anyone, and everyone thought their wheels were broken, quite rightly. So this is another area that Evo is kind of constantly tweaking. So is Polyphony Digital really safe anymore? Well, the big question is obviously, is Evo going to come to PlayStation? I honestly don't think the developers at Assetto Corsa Evo, no matter how talented they are going to be able to add free roam, are going to be able to fully fix the VR, and are going to be able to bring this to console anytime soon. So I do actually now recommend buying Assetto Corsa Evo if you can get it on discount, 50% discount, for example. Understanding it's a time trialing game, as I've always said. We shouldn't be distracted by these bells and whistles. Now, Gran Turismo 7 has actually dropped a August teaser and trailer. It's more Vision GT cars. I've let you know about this in Sim Racing Show, so you're up to date. It is a Chevrolet Corvette CX and CXR. So these are concept-y hybrid and electric and hybrid car. The hybrid having a 2-litre V8, which is quite exciting, but they're not real. I would rather get actual hypercars. I'd rather get the Cadillac hypercar. And then the Sony Afeela EV, I don't care. The production version of the prototype is already in the game. No one cares about this car. Like, literally no one. It's stupid. And then the Renault Avantime. So this is like a blast from the past, like 20 years ago. It only sold about 8,000 units in real life. It's weird. It's kind of like has place in like automotive pop culture, but it's just weird. And you just compare that to the Ferrari F2004. There's no competition, and there's no new track coming in this update as well. So yes, already Spa and Red Bull Ring are in GT7, but we want to get continual new tracks, and we're just not getting it. So I don't know how long GT7 can go on like this. It's going to have its reputation sapped, but the reality is, as soon as Gran Turismo 8 gets officially announced, you bet there is going to be a mad hype train for it. You're going to see YouTubers come out of the woodwork and be back talking about Gran Turismo 8 again. So let's see what they do. Are they going to take a look at all the other competition that's come and try and compete with it, or they're going to continue on the track? Now, we are going to get into Project Motor Racing, iRacing, and Rennsport. Before that, I want to say a big thank you to today's sponsor, GT Omega. Been using GT Omega products for years, including the Moser R16 with my Assetto racing wheel on the GT Omega Prime Lite. This is one of the cheapest racing rigs you can get in the world. That's an aluminium extrusion. So go check it out on the GT Omega website, gtomega.com. And if you decide to buy anything, use my code Kireth5 for an extra 5% off. We all love GT Omega here. Big thanks for sponsoring this video. So big news from Project Motor Racing, and it's not good news. I'm not shilling this. Just telling you honestly, because straight forward, we know they changed earlier this year. It feels longer, but just earlier this year, to go from Unreal Engine to the Giants engine, which is a farming simulator engine. And one of the reasons given by the CEO Ian Bell was that Unreal Engine was holding them back in VR. Now, I was actually this weekend driving Assetto Corsa Competizione in VR, which is an Unreal Engine game, and it wasn't a good experience. Like, I've had good experience in that game before, but not this weekend. So I do get the logic of changing from Unreal Engine to another engine for VR. But we kind of like assumed on goodwill that VR was going to be really important for Project Motor Racing. That seems to be not the case, because actually Straightforce's Chief Development Officer Kevin Boland has now admitted the team's aiming for launch support, but if they miss it, VR will come soon after. We know what soon after means. It's like Assetto Corsa Evo Free Roam is coming soon in the summer, or Le Mans Ultimate stuff was coming soon and it took forever, like where are the driver swaps, etc. So, if you're a PSVR 2 owner, this is my thing, like, if you want to be properly clued up in sim racing, just understand this. I don't believe that any other sim racing game is going to come to PSVR 2 that is going to beat Gran Turismo 7. I just don't believe it. I don't want people to be buying games on that belief. That's just not a belief I have. And I'm a general optimist about a lot of things, but I'm very much a realist there. However, I had expected that Project Motor Racing was going to be a big PC VR game. So it looks like that's not going to be the case, because otherwise they'd be shouting about it. So definitely no console VR in my opinion. Delayed PC VR for Project Motor Racing. Now I'm starting to worry. What else have they been promising that's not going to be delivering? I did have a long chat with ex-F1 driver Johnny Herbert about Project Motor Racing. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Write Herbert in capital letters. And now let's jump into Rennsport, because everything has changed with Rennsport and no one really knew what was going on beforehand anyway. So it's not going to be a free-to-play game. It's going to go 1.0 in Q4 2025 with 2 additions. And that's going to be on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, all of the latest gen consoles. So first is going to be a standard version, 18 cars and 13 tracks. But then there's going to be a deluxe edition, which adds 2 DLCs, Endurance Classics and Touring Classics as well. So we have 2 DLCs in there that you don't get in the standard edition. So we're not going free to play, but we're still getting DLCs bundled in. It's all... I don't understand it yet. I need you to let me know, what do you think of Rennsport? Is anyone excited for Rennsport? Where do you think it sits in the marketplace? I spoke with them about VR again. They like VR. I've played it in VR, but there's no VR, I think, in the daily races at the moment. And they say that it's not something that necessarily is going to be ready for launch. So again, disappointing for VR players, but I'm just curious about where Rennsport sits here now the marketplace is becoming so crowded. Let's go back to iRacing for a second, because the Season 4 2025 build is actually packed with content. And if it wasn't for the distractions, I might be more positive about this, but it does have the Aston Martin GT3 Evo that you got to pay for, the Ford Mustang GT4 that you got to pay for, and the Indy Lights car that you got to pay for. Now, we are going to get the Evo version of the BMW M4 GT3 for free if you already own the base model. That's nice. That'd be kind of crazy to charge for that. We're also going to get the Mexico City F1 track, which is amazing. It's got that stadium section, and there's going to be 10 NASCAR tracks getting refreshes. So presumably that's all part of the work they've been doing for the NASCAR game. Autumn Park as well is going to get some visual and layout improvements. So this is a classic iRacing update that would have been great years ago. It's like, great, there's new content. Yeah, I've got to pay for it. They've been developing it. But the cost of buying that content is going to be as much as buying probably Assetto Corsa Evo and Le Mans Ultimate. So I'm not sure iRacing can get away with this for too much longer. And maybe that explains why they're doing the separate NASCAR and IndyCar games, because they want to kind of capture an audience there that's going to buy a single price game and enjoy it. So I don't know, the iRacing business model might not be sustainable. I've made videos on that before. Now, I've been talking a lot about VR. iRacing is doing something great in VR. They are rolling out eye-tracking foveated rendering. This is quite a big deal in VR. It's going to mean that you're going to get better frame rates. It kind of means that it's only rendering what you're really looking at. It has a massive performance overhead. You could imagine if you can bring this technology to screens, how much FPS change you could get as well. So I will be doing VR in Assetto Corsa Evo and letting you know what that's like. It's been another bumper sim racing show. We get closer to Sim Racing Expo. Make sure to subscribe, share this video as well, and I'll see you in the next one.